Hello to all. I welcome you to this talk which is on giant cells in pathology. So, in chronic inflammation, I discussed that there is a distinct pattern of inflammation known as granulomatous inflammation in which granuloma were forming. So, granuloma can sometimes have the presence of giant cells. So, we should know about the various causes of giant cells, and it often is asked in the viva and also comes in the theory examination. So, it is a very important topic. So giant cells, what are those? They are giant cells are formed by the fusion of many cells and commonly macrophages, especially in the chronic inflammation. So they are multinucleated cells. They have got multiple nuclei but a single fused cytoplasm. So in chronic inflammation, they are formed by the fusion of macrophages and their size is about 40 to 50 microns. So first kind of giant cells or the first differential diagnosis of giant cell is Langerhans giant cell. It is formed by the fusion of epithelioid cells. So what are epithelioid cells? They are nothing, they are but activated macrophages which are activated by the cytokines released by the T cells. So T cells cause the activation of macrophages, and when they are excessively activated, they change their shape and become epithelioid. That is, they look like the epithelial cells. So the characteristic feature of Langerhans giant cell is that the nuclei are arranged in a horseshoe shaped pattern. So the shape of the nuclear arrangement is horseshoe shaped, and commonly it is seen in tuberculosis, but this presence of Langerhans giant cell is not specific for tuberculosis. So they can also be seen in conditions like sarcoidosis, Crohn's disease, leprosy, especially the tuberculoid and borderline tuberculoid, and the deep fungal infections. So these are the causes of the presence of Langerhans giant cell, and they are commonly seen in the chronic inflammatory states. Again, this is horseshoe, and the exactly this appearance is seen in the nuclei of the Langerhans giant cell. Now next is foreign body giant cell. So foreign body giant cell is formed due to foreign body, as the name suggests, because the foreign body is giant enough so that a single macrophage cannot phagocytose it. So many macrophages, they oppose that foreign body, and a foreign body giant cell is formed. So the difference from Langerhans giant cell is that the nuclear here are arranged haphazardly or randomly in the giant cell. There is no specific pattern. They are just arranged randomly, and the foreign bodies which can cause the formation of foreign body giant cell are talc, suture, tattoo, wood particles, wood splinters, or even due to certain endogenous agents like keratinous deposits. So these are the causes of foreign body giant cells. Again, this picture shows a giant cell with the suture in between. This is a foreign body which is present in between, and these are the macrophages forming the giant cell. Again, this is another giant cell in which we can see the foreign body in the center, and all these are the fused macrophages. So next is the osteoclastic giant cell. So it may contain more than 100 nucleus. So this is a characteristic point, that it can contain numerous nuclei, and the nucleus, they are basically round mononuclear cells. The osteoclasts, they are physiologically, they are also seen in the bone tissue, and they are responsible for the resorption of bone, and additionally they can be seen in osteoclastoma, which is a giant cell tumor of bone. Again, in the giant cell tumor of bone, this is the non-neoplastic element. The stromal cells, they are the neoplastic element, and these osteoclastic giant cells, they are formed by the fusion of the mononuclear cells. Again, this is a giant cell tumor which shows numerous osteoclastic giant cells which are uniformly spread in the tissue. Now, syncytial trophoblasts, they are physiological giant cells which are seen in normal placental tissue. The placenta is composed of numerous chorionic villi, and they have vascular cores, and they are lined by cytotrophoblast cells which are mononuclear, while these syncytial trophoblasts, they are multinucleate, and that's why they are called giant cells. So in the arrowhead, you can see the multinucleated syncytial trophoblasts which are seen lining the villi. This is the core of the villi, and this is the lining cells of the villi. Next is Touton's giant cell. So Touton's giant cell, they have the characteristic property that they have cytoplasm of two-tone. in the center there is eosinophilic dense cytoplasm, while in the periphery of these nuclei the cytoplasm is foamy or bubbly in appearance. So this is the characteristic feature how we identify the Touton's giant cell. And this is foamy because these lesions are rich in lipids. So they are lipid containing lesions, and that's why they are also known as xanthelasmic giant cells. So they are seen in lipid rich lesions like xanthoma, xanthelasma, and fat necrosis. So all these lesions are characterized by high lipid content. So you should remember this, that there is two-toned cytoplasm. Peripheral is foamy, center is eosinophilic. Again, this is a picture of Touton's giant cell. You can see the arrangement of the nuclei. There is a central eosinophilic cytoplasm and the peripheral foamy cytoplasm. Next we come to tumor giant cell. The tumor giant cell is different from the giant cells we studied previously because they are not composed of the macrophages. They are composed by the malignant tumor cells. So these are the malignant tumor cells, and the malignant tumor cells will be characterized by hyperchromatic and pleomorphic nuclei like these, and they can have even a prominent nuclei. So they will be pleomorphic, they will be darkly stained, and they can have bizarre shapes. So they are the tumor giant cells. They are commonly formed in epithelial and mesenchymal malignancies. Examples can be high-grade tumors of breast, lung, liver, etc. Next is Warthin-Finkeldy cells. So these giant cells, they are seen in the condition of measles. Sometimes they are also seen in HIV, but it is more common in measles. They can have up to 50 nuclei, and sometimes intranuclear viral inclusions may be identified or appreciated within the nucleus. So these are Warthin-Finkeldy cells, often asked in the MCQ. So this is most commonly seen in the condition of measles. And lastly, the giant cells can also be seen in herpes simplex virus infection. So when they infect the skin, the squamous cells, they may fuse to form the multinucleated giant cells. So again here the source of giant cells is not macrophages. There is the formation of giant cells by the squamous cells. So this is the giant cell in HSVs. You can see the different nuclei which are present here, like 1 2 3 4 5 nucleus here, and again here there are fusion of the squamous epithelial cells to form a giant cell. And the important differentiating point is that the nucleus has got the viral inclusion and it gives a ground glass appearance. Again, this is an important MCQ. So these were the various giant cells which are seen in pathology. There is one more giant cell, that is RS cell, which is seen in Hodgkin's lymphoma. It can have a single nuclei or multiple nuclei, sometimes two nuclei. So that I will be covering separately in some other talk. So thank you very much for listening.